So it's been several months since we finished this greenhouse. I thought I'd give you just a quick little update on how things are going. It's a jungle in here. This is a new experience for us gardening in Southeast Arizona because, as I've mentioned several times in previous videos in this series, the birds did about 75% decimation damage to our garden. But it's lush and green. The amaranth is going through the top. We've got crookneck squash coming on. This is something that's a rare experience for us. If in the past we had tomatoes survive the bird attacks, if we got to the point where the fruit would start to ripen, then the fruit would get destroyed. And in this case, we've got tomatoes like you wouldn't believe. And again, growing clear to the top. So some of the things you probably didn't see on the previous finale video, we've added another raised bed. And of course, she's got it all loaded up with stuff. We also moved a garden bench that we had in a different area of the yard, and she got it in here so she could put pots on it and grow things in it. And so yeah, it's gone really well. We've got squash coming on, and I mean, this is the end of July 2023, and Nancy's thrilled. I mean, this has been a long time coming, and she can finally garden without worrying about things getting destroyed. More tomatoes. I can't remember what this is. Lord have mercy. Comfrey's going crazy. Our Niagara grapes, the last time you saw them, they were just about that tall. Well, they've done as intended. They've grown up, and now they're starting to spread across the top to provide some partial overstory shade. I had to add some little trellises up here for them to train along, in addition to grabbing the mesh in the overhead there. We wanted them to grow about 6 or 8 inches below the top in most places. Otherwise, as you can see there, they've gone through the top and are cascading down the other side. So those will be the sacrificial grapes for the birds. More tomatoes here. Early on, we did have a little trouble with mice getting in here. And if you hear a little buzzing in the background, we've got some electronic emitters to deter the mice. I've also had a couple of snap traps that were successful. And since we instituted those two things, no more mice in here. 0 birds. Well, I say that with a caveat. We have had a couple birds get in here only because we forgot and left the doors open. And when we went out to do other work in the yard, we left the doors open, and a couple of birds have gotten in here. But when the doors are shut and we're not around, no birds. Look at that. Beefsteak tomato. Yeah, looking forward to diving into that when it ripens up. More tomatoes here. Yeah, so long story short, this greenhouse is a roaring success and doing exactly what we intended it to do. And Nancy has rediscovered the thrill of gardening because things aren't getting destroyed. A couple things I've added. I think I mentioned I was going to do it. We've got a little hydrant here with several things attached to it, but we hooked up timers, and we've got soaker hose, small diameter soaker hose, in all of the beds, set up on automatic electric timers, so we don't have to come out and manually water all the time. This timer here does this side of the garden And then another, we've got, sorry, this is still a little messy back here. We're in the process of cleaning it up. We've got this one on the back side that waters everything along this wall. I did go up over the top. Oops, sorry about sun glare. Came down this side, and so we could get these center raised beds along here. And then, of course, we've got a hose and electric pump hooked up to our rainwater collection tank, which augments everything. And these little electronic timers are just for the raised beds in here. The water collection tank, I've got a little electric pump inside that container there with a hose attached to it. That does all of the rest of the watering out in the yard. All this along here, the cold frame over there, and then everything else Nancy has growing up on the porches. And yeah, but the screen house has been a roaring success. We're happy, thrilled with it. It's done exactly what we wanted it to do, and we're just really tickled. And I sent a couple of preliminary photos off to Farm Show magazine, and Mark Newhall, the chief editor, responded back and said they would love to have a small article and more pictures on this project so they can publish it in the magazine. And then, of course, I'll give them a link to the playlist on the build series for this entire project. So there you go. There's an update on the screen house, and it's a roaring success. We're happy with it. If anybody has any questions about it, you can refer to the playlist, or you can send me an email. Go to the About tab on my YouTube channel page, and my Gmail address is there. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions about this. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon.